Now, the Dow futures down sharply as global markets take a big hit in response to President Trump's tariffs announcements. And just moments ago, China announced plans to implement 34%
Bring it on, baby, bring it on.
Retaliatory, thank you, tariffs on U.S. goods starting April 10th.
So senior White House correspondent Jackie Heinrich is watching all this. She's a little seasick, and she joins us now. Jackie, tell us the latest. And you have your own landscaper issues, it sounds like.
I do. I do. You know, Brian, this market reaction was a shock to everyone, really, except for President Trump, who likened it to a scheduled medical procedure to treat a sick patient.
I think it's going very well. It was an operation, like when a patient gets operated on, and it's a big thing. I said this would exactly be the way it is. We have $6 or $7 trillion coming into our country, and we've never seen anything like it. The markets are going to boom, the stock is going to boom, the country is going to boom.
And his administration is echoing that line, even as the impacts keep coming. This morning, China announcing retaliatory tariffs of 34% effective April 10th. That, by the way, is exactly the kind of countermeasure that Treasury Secretary said would prompt escalation from the U.S., repeatedly warning against it. The president's aides maintain the strategy will work and the fallout will be short, despite recession warnings from some economists.
All right, that's it.
This will be a short time of uncertainty.
Okay, so, well, just a really quick talk about what the economists are saying. The recession warnings, I don't know what they're talking about because we've been in a recession. I don't know what they're talking about. We just went through 4 years of high inflation where people were barely able to consume as much as they were before because everything was more expensive. Like the fact that the fact that they rely on these expert economists as if they're like gods or something, like, oh, they know what's best. Clearly not, because they don't know that we're in a recession right now. Like, people think the recession is what happened during Obama's, like the whole 2008 recession. Yeah, that's also a recession. But what happened during 4 years was also a recession. So they're again fear-mongering. They're saying that the tariffs is going to create a recession and they're going to look really stupid when it doesn't. And just to really quick, when it comes to China, so China has a fake economy. Because the reason why China has been able to grow so fast is because of us. To be exact, because of Nixon. Nixon went over there and said, you know, he wanted them to be democratic. That clearly didn't work. But, you know, I have nothing against Nixon for certain. But, well, there's some things I don't like about Nixon, like the war on drugs. But this is another one. He pretty much said, let's just work with China. And he pretty much opened the capitalism to China. And that benefited China. It didn't benefit us. Yeah, people were like, oh my God, yeah, we get to have cheap shit. Yeah, we also get to have cheap shit from child labor. I actually looked up the other day that China didn't stop child labor in the books, in the law books, until 1991. When was Nixon president? Can you look that up? I think it was the 60s. So from the 60s, whenever that was, until 1991, these motherfuckers were using child labor to make our stuff and sell it here while tariffing us in the process. And that's how they've been able to literally grow so fast as far as their infrastructure.
Yeah, Nixon did 1969 to 1974.
So from 1969 to 1991, China was using child labor to manufacture our things and sell it to us. So all we were doing was buying things from a country that was literally going against what we believe in, which is child abuse.
I mean, they're still doing it now. It's just
but they're doing it more on the DL.
It's on the DL. Like, it's not legal anymore. You know, it's not an official thing, but
they're still doing it because China's enormous.
You got your little shady warehouses in the outskirts. You know, that still do it.
not just that.
And it's not just China though. It's
But China's the biggest one
India,
because they're a huge manufacturing country.
Thailand, Taiwan.
So, but I'm focusing on China because they're the threat right
they're
now.
the biggest like producers.
Yeah, they're the threat. It's not fucking Thailand or it's them. So another thing to add on to that is China's GDP is super low. Can you compare what China's GDP is to America's GDP? It's extremely low. And don't they have more people than we do? Like look up like what their GDP is versus us and their population versus ours. They have, I think, more people than we do. But yeah, we make more money than they do. So how do they have a surplus and we have a deficit?
Okay, so according to chat, it's estimated that, well, this is back in 2024, US GDP was $29 trillion. And
Theirs is like 18 or something.
19.53
Okay,
for China.
So we're making more money than they are, yet their infrastructure is extremely modernized. They've been able to grow super fast compared to us. Why is it that when I go to the Miami airport, it looks like it hasn't been fixed since they built it? Like, my problem is, if we're making more money than they are, why is it that it looks like they're making more money than we are? You know what I'm saying? Like, his dad went to China like twice. He freaking loves China because they're so modern and everything just looks amazing. It looks like something out of a freaking sci-fi movie. But yet we're the ones making more money. So how does that make any sense? It just shows that we're making money, but we're giving our money away for free, giving our money away. And they're taking advantage of it. And they've been taking advantage of it for a very long time. And no president, Republican or Democrat, has done shit about it until this guy came along and he was like, nah, fam, something's got to change. Because if not, we will file bankruptcy. Like the part that I understand about the Democrats is they're fighting Doge, they're fighting the tariffs, they're fighting the immigration deportations, they're fighting all the stuff that the Trump administration is doing. For what though? What is the point of you doing that? If we continue on the path the Democrats want to go on, we would literally file bankruptcy. Like, put it this way, if a company were to be as in much debt as this country is, they would have been filed bankruptcy years ago. So, and the United States is a corporation. We're not just a country. We are a business. And we need to start acting like a business. So China can try to, do the tariffs on us. It's not going to work because we make more money than they do. And the reality is their people are going to feel it. We're not going to feel it as much. So I guess they're trying to be the big, they're trying to puff out their chest. It's not going to last. I'm predicting it's not going to last. They're going to have to bend the knee because they're going to have no choice. Same thing with Germany. Same thing with the UK. All these fucking countries have been screwing us. They're going to all bend the knee just like Israel did. And we'll see that I'm going to end up being right. And it's not about being right. It's just about the fact that I'm paying attention and other people unfortunately aren't.